10-7 a year ago, 2-4 in the division. How did they make the playoffs even with 2-4 in the division? That's something that we will never know. Last year, Justin Herbert takes another big stride, adding to an already impressive early on to his career, going from, Anthony Lynn to now the current head coach and whatever his name is. I'm drawing a blank on it right now. But the big piece, Brandon Staley.
There you go.
They had a roller coaster of a year last year. They ended up losing Michael Williams in a Week 18 game that they did not need to play any starters in. They just wanted to get reps. They lose Mike Williams' back injury. I think he broke a vertebrae in his back. He had at least a minor fracture in one of the vertebrae. Didn't play in the playoff game. They showed off amazingness in the first 28 minutes of a playoff game. You turn off the TV thinking, oh, the Chargers win. Nope, they choked it away. Jaguars win that game. And it leads to bigger questions here. They fire their offensive coordinator, and they bring in the best piece probably of the entire offseason they have, Kellen Moore, who will probably elevate Justin Herbert's career to the next level. And he could probably be breaking a lot of records and putting himself into the Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady-esque record highs, even Peyton Manning as well.
I mean, I think I can speak for Dom and I both that we were excited to see that Staley was not calling any offensive plays anymore. Not handling the offense whatsoever anymore.
I can't stand Brandon Staley.
He's so bad.
All the way around, if I'm going to be honest. I have not been able to stand him. And then he pulled that stuff in game 18 last year, or 17, whatever, where he starts them and people get hurt. And now we're going into a playoff game. He's just on a team that needs to win a playoff game. And then it's just unnecessary stuff. And then his play call. And then I just am not excited about it.
I think he's just the classic guy who thinks he's the smartest dude in the room.
It's possible.
He thinks he's smarter than you.
I think he holds back the team a lot.
Like his analytical things, calculations that kept them from doing the tie, and you both make it in.
But the addition for OC now could be big, like you said, 100%.
I think Kellen Moore can honestly. I think he could reach Peyton Manning numbers with Kellen Moore in offense. I mean, it all starts too. They drafted Quentin Johnston in the first round. You may say, why is he lined up as the right receiver? Apparently, according to the reports, he already beat out Joshua Palmer and Jalen Guyton for that third wide receiver spot on the team. He's already going to be starting, and that's another huge guy. Mike Williams is 6'4", Quentin Johnston 6'4", Keenan Allen I think is like 6'3", 6'2". You have big guys lined up for Justin Herbert, and it's always going to be a 50-50 ball, and I think it's probably 100% always going to be going to a Chargers guy's hands.
Nice tight end room.
Yeah, Gerald Everett, Donald Parham. The offensive line is probably the best in the entire division with Slayers, Zion Johnson.
Everett was great for them last year, 100%.
I really think that just the best additions or the best things that could possibly happen for the Chargers are additions that aren't even player related. Apparently, they changed their medical staff, so maybe they're not the most injured team in the league every year. And an offensive coordinator who actually knows what he's doing.
I think they got to get teased again. I think this is going to be another fun season for the Chargers. Going to make the playoffs, and they're going to get bounced in the wild card.
Yeah.
Staley gets fired. Then, and only then, will I believe in the Chargers.
Wow. So, Colton, you're on the Staley out train, huh?
I believe so.
He's bad.
Good. Awesome. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I was wondering what your opinion was going to be when I said all that.
Yeah, no. I actually thought he was going to get fired this offseason.
I was kind of hoping he would, to be honest.
I thought that was going to be like the surprise fire, even though it's not a surprise. And I think he was going to be on his way out, and then Harbaugh was going to take the Chargers job. But thankfully, none of that happened, so we're in business now.
Wow. How many more years has Harbaugh signed at Michigan?
He signed an extension, I believe.
An infinity-year extension? Or infinity dollars?
No, he's gonna go to the league at some point. The teasing is too much where he's not going to go, but he's waiting for the right job. Like, why would he take the Colts job? Like, why? Like, to go draft a quarterback? Like, why would he take the Denver job? Everyone's always going to Denver. Why? He's strapped with Russell Wilson. Why would he do that? So if a job like the Chargers opens up with Justin Herbert as your franchise guy, yeah, that's worth leaving a college job that you got at the highest peak. That is worth a job taking.
So, what's the deal with Eckler currently?
They re-upped his franchise tag where he's making more money.
Okay.
Yeah, they redid his contract. He makes a little more money, but the Chargers don't want to pay him, so he's probably going to be out after this year.
Okay. Well, hey. I mean, this offense is stupid. This offense is pretty freaking solid.
I think this is a top 5 offense in the AFC.
Has to be.
Oh,
Some of the best
saying
receiving
AFC,
core you have, as far as 3 guys, maybe into a 4th. You have a solid receiver tight end, solid guy. Justin Herbert. Now you have this offensive coordinator that, I mean, if he could glue it all together and play call well, which we expect him to, and be that much of an improvement from Brandon Staley, I mean, the sky's the limit for this team, is it not? Or at least for the offense?
I really think they could compete with the Chiefs. I think the Chargers have a really good shot to take over the AFC West and have the Chiefs have to play on the road.
Yeah, with help.
Patrick Mahomes has never played on the road in the playoffs. It's always been at Arrowhead, and then wherever they play the Super Bowl at. He's never had to just not be the
I'll believe when I see it when it comes to crunch time with the Chargers. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, you know they're going to be good talent-wise, but some odd reason, it's always a downfall in the second half. It was blow it away. Can't get a stop.
Yeah.
I'll believe when I see it with the Chargers. I think they're going to get 10, 11 wins again. They're going to be there. They probably sweep the Raiders, maybe sweep the Broncos. Like, the Broncos defense is really good, so, like, we'll see. But most likely, they split with Kansas City. So they're going to be a 10, 11 win team, possibly even 12. Like, they're going to be very good. They're probably going to get bounced in the wild card because inexperienced head coach going to do something stupid again, and they're going to be bounced again. That's kind of what I see it.
Let's take a look at the defense, because I know this defense ain't bad. I know this defense.
I mean, they don't have J.C. Jackson on there. I don't know how far he is coming back from that weird knee injury, the torn patella and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully he comes back. But the addition of Eric Hendricks after he got cut from the Vikings due to budget situations up there.
That's huge.
I mean, and look at the defense too. Like, what? Tuli
defense.
I think I probably said that name as best as I could out of Bama. Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Derwin James, Michael Davis. Oh, no, J.C. Jackson's on there.
Asante Samuel Jr. was insane at the end of last year. I mean, and had a great season all the way around. But like
3 interceptions against the Jaguars in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team, man. This is a defense of a bunch of dudes that are good at football.
Guys.
Straight up and down. Just a bunch of guys that are great at football.
Like, your middle linebackers are Kenneth Murray.
Yes.
I don't think they gave him the 5th-year option. I think he walks after this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you can negotiate after that too. You don't need to.
Yeah, you can. But I mean, you don't want to be like Daniel Jones, where you're forced to pay him $45 million and then you're screwed.
Again, it comes down to the coach in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one name for every team in this division. The first 2 were quarterbacks. This one is the head coach.
The thing is, I don't think he's that bad as a defensive coordinator guy. He's not a great head coach, and now he's not covering the offense. I think that's just like where it stays. You're a glorified coordinator coach. Like, how many times have we seen where a really good coordinator becomes a head coach, and then they get a guy to fill the problems that they have?
Well, I just don't understand. You got a young quarterback, and you hire a defensive-minded guy. That just made 0 sense from the start.
It's like Buffalo. I mean, Sean McDermott.
McDermott's been there, though. McDermott's been there for a while, and he had good coaches around him.
Like, I mean, that's also like Belichick. I mean, Belichick.
Guys that have been there, though. That's the thing. Those are guys that have been there. If you're like brand new hiring a coach,
is Mike Tomlin a defensive guy?
Yeah,
sure is. Yeah.
You also got Bob Saleh. You got
the guy didn't Indeed is hired.
Todd Bowles.
No, who
the Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals. Let's say Cardinals hired a defensive coach from
Jake's
Philly.
favorite human in the entire world.
man around me.
The
Unless you're saying the pew pew explosion noises afterwards to make fun of them.
You got a schedule for us? Well, I want to see the schedule.
Yeah, let me pull it up really quick. I didn't want to do it last time
Yeah,
and then
it's messed
screw
it
us
up.
all up.
Yeah, you're good. Oh, we gotta. How do we?
Oh, here I got it. Let me
There we go.
You're good there.
got
You're good.
this.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay.
You're good.
Looking at this, I think they start 4-0 before the. I think 4-0 is a pretty. It could happen before the bye. I mean, the Dolphins might be the hardest team they got to play before the bye,
Yeah.
Cowboys.
and then they got to play the
There's
Cowboys.
a
That's
lot of
gonna be very
potential.
difficult.
There's a lot of potential there for the Chargers. It literally comes down to Staley, man. Can they actually win a playoff game?
I
and
think
get
they
the
could go
mark off
5-1 in the division. I think they split with the Chiefs and they could sweep the others. I mean, the Chargers have probably the worst luck playing a mile high. They play for some reason like the worst games up there. But I mean, no one plays perfect as the away team up there.
I mean, you could realistically in the last 2 months of the season, they could have just 2 losses.
I agree.
Running into the playoffs red hot. Well, if not January, but just November, December, like 2 losses there. And then,
I think that Chiefs game in January, they're both going to be bent. Mahomes and Herbert probably aren't playing that game.
unless they're
Unless it
fighting for the
matters.
seed there, that's a nothing game.
Which they very well could be. I mean, very well could be. With how this team is and what we think of this team and their schedule, I mean, they could be entering that Chiefs game with 3 losses.
I mean, they do got to go to Green Bay, but I mean, it's still going to be like 40, 50 degrees up there, and it's an early game, so they probably don't have to worry about that. But then you got to go to New England December. Cold as all hell. You go into Vegas. I mean, it's what the Death Star, the Roomba. I forgot what Gruden called it. And then you got to play Denver in Denver, and that's probably going to be a snow-filled game. Or you might be lucky and it's going to be 75 and sunny because I never knew Denver was a desert until now.
I mean, history shows that that'll be a Ravens team without Lamar.
They play a lot of home games early on too.
Very possible.
I'm just saying we've seen. The trend is that might be a Ravens team without Lamar. So who knows?
So glad the Ravens signed him. Oh.
I don't even got Colton on my debate team there.
We got me and Colton will be a strong force on that argument whenever that happens.
I'll join that.
Yeah, which all about.